that was good fun. I think waterfaLLZ actually had some good moments. So, yeah, I think we're going to see some interesting Counter-Strike today, and I think some new Counter-Strike, because I personally haven't seen much of these guys, Chad. I would imagine you don't watch much.
Some of the guys from Sangal, yeah, you know, and also with the guys over there, waterfaLLZ, as you mentioned, svyat, right? Those two I've seen. But in terms of Sugar and some of these other names here, like, are we going to go with Raijin against the Machine, and Poya. That's the roster being rounded out over there for the ASG side. Now let's get this one underway. Going to be giving you some of my absolute best play-by-play here today, guys. Not a specialty of mine, so let's see if I can set this one alight. Deep incendiary down Banana to deal with any early aggression. Sugar has tucked on in towards that little cubby, hanging out by the broom, and oh, Corey with so much space here. Creepy peeky like he is here in the steps and should be able to get this one with ease. The shots don't land, and Corey now starting to pepper away under pressure. Does get the kill, does get the P250, and won't get out of dodge. Poya is going to trade on out. We have a 4-on-4.
We do. Lucky that that first kill did actually come in. Sugar now holding. It might not be so sweet for him at the start of this one. Just a pick on a Chugux. Goes in for the second. Couldn't quite find it. Now has to drop back.
Well, they say a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down.
Who said that, Chad?
Mary Poppins.
Yes, the legend. We were watching some Mary Poppins videos the other day.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiree.
True, is it not, Chad? Come, is it? I've no.
There's multiple. You need Frankie here. I think between me and her, we could get some musical action going on.
I love it. Well, QB. Let's see if he gets something from the pit. Sensei holding for the cross out through short. Flash will blind him. He has to take a tighter angle towards default, and Chad take over.
Well, they're into the site. The bomb about to get planted here. 35 seconds left on the clock, but the 40 about to be thrust on accordingly so. And Skrunk with the capital K looking for a couple of kills.
Let's see if he can stink him like a skunk. Hasn't seen anybody yet.
They're all in the site.
He's creeping closer. They're all looking at him. They're all looking at his position. And eventually, as soon as he walks around that corner, should be getting a little bit of peppering. Maybe too much pepper. He's starting to back away. Oh, lovely shot.
Yeah.
Up to Poira.
He's got no hope here. Look at the time. And he's so worried about Pit. So they've given up their positions. Now Sugar will hit the final shot. The third in the round for Sugar. Sugar Sean.
Lay some sugar on me.
Sugar Sean is an MMA fighter.
Okay, yeah, I've watched.
I forget his last name. He does some streaming and stuff too. I think he likes his old video game, Sugar Sean.
Yeah, there's a lot of sugars out there, I think. What's your favorite Mary Poppins song, Chad?
Has to be Step in Time. The tap dancing on the roof with the chimney sweeps.
Yeah.
Step in Time.
That was a good one. That's good. I like the bank one.
The bank, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the kind of creepier version. The
creepier version.
Yeah. That used to freak me out as a kid, the bank guys.
Bang! And the dirt is gone.
Yes. Nice and clean. Up towards top Banana with those nades. As now the T side takes some control of Banana, the Molly is going to clear out Chugux and put some pressure on him. So he'll have to smoke it, drop back, play a little bit more of a passive style position. Poria taking nades, applying a lot of pressure down Banana here. No one yet to fight at the beginning of this round. It looks like we're going to have a slow game, at least at the start of this one for ASG.
Yeah, what a way to do all this U2 right now. They can set up their execute towards the B bomb site, and the rotation's actually been drawn on back as theirs starts to rain on over. Sugak's going to do his best to stall this one out, the 5-7 in hand, but it's going to be hard for him to contest against this, and Sensei is going to flash him forward. Now, the smoke was already up, so the flash isn't going to get them a whole lot. The safe passage up and over into the site, and they're sticking to their guns right here, Sangal. They want to continue with this 4-man B lean as the second wave of the the T-side util is now deployed, and in they go.
35 seconds. Chugux placed some first oranges, flashed, crossing now into his 5-7, and like a banana, not much coming out of that one. Chugux out of play. Sugar now wraps around the long side. 20 seconds left. ASG continuing to move their way into a comfortable position. And they do take their time, but they'll get the bomb down. And Sangal, well, they have pistols here. They've invested in the Kevlars. You have to save it, but are they going to be allowed to do so?
Everyone's four-letter word of save coming out to play. For some people, it's love. For us Counter-Strike fans, it's save.
Sugar save. Let's see if he can get it. Bang! Stopped. He's taking out QB. The QB out.
The QB Fire.
QB Fire, that's a throwback. A little bit of water. The waterfalls play for QB Fire.
God damn, now you're really testing me here.
I'm trying to remember myself. 1 second, I will do this. I'll not throw you under the bridge
We
here.
can just have a bit of a Googs. Good old Googs around here. Maybe you're using Brave. Maybe you're not using Googs. Maybe you're using whatever you're using to have a little bit of search. Safari. Maybe you're out there on Internet Explorer.
Internet Explorer. I think he did, yeah. Says here that...
I can tell you he's 26 years of age.
Okay, not that old.
Teams he's played in, Windstrike, Extremum, Hard Legion as a trial, Quantum Bellator Fire. There you go.
There we go. I knew it. QB Fire. Yeah, well, 2-0 anyway for ASG, and we take now a look at Sangal. They're going to be on the eco because they got everything ripped out of the hands towards the last few moments of the previous round, and so that puts them in a position now where they really don't have anything to compete. ASG should shred through this one. We'll see if they take the time again. If they do, it's going to be a long, drawn-out round. But Sangal are going to be stacking most of their forces over towards B here. Just think of what this means for these players coming here to play on LAN. You don't really get to see them here this often. And I think you've seen Sangal yesterday, Chad. Sensei was just lapping up the experience. Yeah,
that's true. He was enjoying himself, right? I think the key for me is Svyat when he was part of that Hard Legion, aka Dream Eaters team. They did qualify when like they were completely unknown quantity. That's where Crad and Forrester came from, right? So it's also where...
What other things happen?
Yeah, I wanted to remember his name. Hold on, let me find his name. Because that guy is a bloody disgrace.
Well, anyway, while Chad is doing
here he is.
Oh,
Meccano Gun.
Yeah, Meccano Gun.
That guy.
Meccano was the worst version of Lego as well, so just everything Meccano sucks.
He was like banned for life type stuff, wasn't he?
I mean, yeah, that's what you tend to get when you're a cheater, so.
Yeah. Well, no cheaters here.
Had to play with the CEO in a match one time, show match rather. Lost me the game, so.
Oh dear.
Everything about that kind of sucked.
Yeah, he went by Zoner, and then he changed his name to Meccano Gun. But
that's the classic name change.
The team that was at that major I was talking about was Kinky, Speedak, Forrester, Crad, and Svyat as the in-game leader.
They actually put out 4s out of the Star Ladder major, and I think I remember like a lot of cool stuff coming out of that team in terms of utility usage. They were quite a good train team, if I remember back then. And it's crazy to think that was only 2 majors ago, and train was still in the pool.
In September 2020, Meccano Gun received a 24-month ban from all ESIC member events starting at August 31st, 2020 for exploiting a coaching spectating bug. His ban was later increased to 36 months following further investigation into his usage of the bug. Additionally, Meccano Gun received a permanent ban from Valve events due to exploiting the coaching bug. Well, there you go. We don't have to talk about him because he's never coming back.
Cheers to that. Here comes Sugar out of the apartments, delivering quite the nice openings. 2 picked up, shredded through. ASG having a great time as they take this A site. We are running 2 simultaneous streams today, ladies and gentlemen. Over on that other stream, on the A stream, we have got some Tier 1 Counter-Strike going on for a chance to qualify for the major between Astralis and Players. A legend spot on the line between those sides. A very exciting matchup. Between those two. Astralis looking hot in this tournament. I'm very impressed at the change-up they've had so far, in particular of kind of figuring out how to get Blameless playstyle to get the most out of the side.
Yeah, he was beast mode yesterday, wasn't he, here? As we are on board with ASG on a little bit of a hunt. They're looking really hot to trot on this T side.
waterfalLLZ taking himself a life onto Chugak. Scrunk gets 1, and they're not being able to save here time and time again. This is the worst position to be in because you lose the first couple of kills towards this other side of the map at A, and you immediately call to save. If you then don't get any of those weapons saved over, you're going to feel pretty rough because you didn't even compete for the round winning. You're just getting shredded through right now.
Yeah, it's a rough spot to be. And we saw this type of frustration starting to mount for these boys yesterday. And then once they got it underway, started picking up some rounds, the mojo started to flow. They were a bit happier with how things were going. You got the AWPs out into the hands of Sensei. He was looking good on that, as we do have the first tactical timeout called here for a bit of a chit-chat, a bit of a conversation. A little less conversation, a little more, I don't know. That's Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
We're very musical here today, guys. And
there's a new Elvis Presley film coming out, Chad.
Yeah, indeed.
Tom Hanks plays his agent. Looks pretty cool.
Okay. Tugux and Sensei yet to get a kill here. Currently sitting at the 0-4 on the scores, but it's still very early days, isn't it? Very, very early days here. As now we will see this Eco around, about to get bashed around the server. There's a couple of light upgrades coming through, so some zingers on the digs could be up for offering.
Oh, Sugar runs up mid. Flash goes into middle. Corey set up for the peak. Some damage done onto Raijin. It's a bit of a rough start here for Sangal.
This is a really nice basic default spread, though, that's being conducted here, right? So you have the spam on the bridge, you work on your holes and boiler control as a collective, you just patiently watch top mid for pushes, you watch top banana. They are going to get themselves across the boiler here, so they've opted not to jump up and over. But this is the control you're looking at. So I guess we can go over the Counter-Strike color by numbers situation here. Is they just want to comb for this map control. Now, as they start to establish, they're going to get the smoke down towards the long side, the molly here to land under porch. That'll flush everything out. Sugar gets flashed forward to clear this, and this is exactly what you want to see. Applying more pressure. This smoke over towards the long side will be fading in the next couple of seconds, so a perfectly timed Molotov right there to work on the fade. This is the details that you want to see coming out of a team like Hero, who are going through the paces, going through the basics, and now they can start gearing themselves up for an A hit. Plenty of smokes available. Could smoke off towards Library and towards CT Arch, wrap onto the site with the rifles, use them at range versus the pistols, who are all tucked on in tidy towards the site. But they're going to do this dry. There's not going to be any tells coming on through, just creepy, beaky, and sneaky. As now they're going to give this jig up. Smokes deployed, attack coming, a little bit deep, so they're going to throw out a second to deal with that Library position.
Sensei. Oh, nice deagle shot in the sight. Svyat
10
gets
seconds.
toppled, but 10 seconds does give me a little bit of anxiety, but they find the kills at the end anyway. So Scrum coming up through middle, P250 in hand. ASG have got the site, they got the round. They're really slowing this one down, aren't they? Nice, slow, spread, default, finishing the round, playing the percentages, and you know ASG want to stay alive in this competition.
Yeah, it's good, right? They're minimizing the amount of mistakes that are possible here. They're not just giving Sangal free picks against pistols. So this is the type of rounds that you want to keep tidy. So it's a really, really nice start from ASG. And I believe in their matches so far, the most amount of rounds they've been able to win in the best of ones were 5 and 6 rounds respectively. They're only 1 round away from doing just as good as that. And that'd be fantastic. We have their map choice coming up next of Ancient. I love how a lot of these newer teams, they want to play Ancient. I really appreciate the fact that they're willing to take that risk on a territory that hasn't been completely flushed out just yet. But this is Sangal back into the buy, back into the guns, and the double orbs brought out. We mentioned how Scrunk and Sensei were able to find some traction on that yesterday. Let's see if they can find a couple of potent picks. Head up and over on the logs. And, oh, Sensei has taken so much damage on the other side of the map here. You can see him melted on down to 5, and that's through the wall bang. Well highlighted there. Our observing team showing the bounce back and the spam. So, good little indication of how that one likely went down. And he's going to reposition over towards long. Would have been rough for him to go down with the AWP and that full bag of utility on his back, but this map control has been given for free here. So the way that Sangal are approaching this, they will need to stall them out with multis, because as you can see the radar top left of your screen, I want to educate maybe some of our newer viewers on how to use this. They're split up with 2 players over towards B and 3 players over towards A. Oh, and this smoke towards long is great at forcing the rotations of the CT AWPer. You can't stay Library, or if you do, the mid to B stays open. It forces a B rotate. And if you go back to Arch, you're more disconnected from your 2 players now hunkered down towards Pit. QB alongside of old mate Corey here to see if they can defend against this. 2 players banana, Arch control taken, 45 seconds. Time seems to be ASG's best friend in a lot of these rounds, as Raijin will deploy smoke towards that Archer. Flash forward. Sensei calling this one clear. But here comes the wave of attack ahead of the util. Raijin goes down. Sensei finds a kill on that low HP, so good stuff from him.
QB sits on top of the bicycle, peers over the smoke into short. Multiple members begin to apply pressure to this A defense. It is cracked time and time again. Oh, once again, the skull will crack if QB, and Corey sits inside the pit, but he's undetected. They still check him. Oh, he's got the element of surprise and still can't double up. waterfaLLZ recovers and gets the kill back. Oh, that's a bit of a nightmare there. That could have been something for Sangal, but again, it's a save call.
Now, this is not starting in the best of fashions right now for Sangal. Similar scenes as to what happened to them yesterday in their game against Players. And speaking of Players, we mentioned it once, mentioned it again. We want to encourage you to head over there to watch Players versus Astralis. First map, Ancient. Second map, Dust 2. Third, if required, of Inferno. A big series going on. Dinko mentioned it. It's for a legend spot. That means you get to skip the first round to Swiss in Antwerp. Come on through. Get ready and raring to secure yourself a top 16 slot. And in the earlier stages of this one, it seems to be quite a good performance from Hobbit and Axile with Shiro along for the ride. So the firepower of players are at least hitting the ground running early.
Sangal is actually a village in Belgaum, India.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You've been talking to Blair about it?
No.
Oh. You've been Googling Sangal?
Yeah, I just thought I'd have a look at Sangal, see what it was all about.
Where does the name originate? I'm going to get on the interwebs right now. Let me have a look.
Sangal Counter-Strike.
It says Sangal Esports is a Turkish esports organization that was founded in 2017. The organization moved its headquarters to the Netherlands on July 28, 2021. And on January 17 of this year, they signed Scrunk, Corey, QB, and Tugux as the coach.
Yes. Well, little did they know they would be signing Tugux as a player here at the RMR.
Oh, before that, they had Magic, Paz, Engine, Hardstyle as the coach, Imor, Logic Man. Yeah, so...
more major players, that. Quite literally.
That's true, you are bang on. Yeah, well, I suppose this is what happened when Eternal Fire came on in. Kind of left Sangal reaching for players, and then they've gone on over.
I remember Imor used to post frequently, like 2.0 ratings in online games. That is nice from Sugar. That is... Whoa. Delightful. Sensei and Corey take it down at a fast swoop. Tugux through the smoke has displayed damage onto svyat. In fact, he's taken him out of the round, and this is looking much better for Sangal. If QB can take down waterfaLLZ, they might just be on for their first round win here.
Oh, Sugar's already found 2 big kills. Might be on for his third as he's been able to get out the balcony undetected. Was that sound cue noted? Doesn't look like in the now. And if Raijin can actually bring the bomb across, this smoke is still up. Sugar's about to be in a power position in towards the graveyard. He's tucked his tail. He's preparing himself to take this fight as Tugux is well aware that this territory has been given on over. This could be the fight to set up the rounds here. Oh, the jiggle's out. Was the barrel spotted? It wasn't, and Sugar gets his third. 2 more to find now. QB and Scrunk are out of the play. That bomb can come on over, but still Raijin taking his time. And as I mentioned, time the best friend for ASG. Sugar on for another. The smoke. Oh, bit of a missed throw there under the pressure, but the bomb, could have gone down.
If the smoke had gone out, the bomb would have got across, and how? Oh, this is rough. 8 seconds left into the open. Scrunk able to close it out. Sangal fortunate that smoke doesn't work out. Maybe would have allowed the bomb plant, and who knows when it gets down into the post plant. Here is the start. Tugux through the smoke. Solo play for Poira up Banana. And the top mid extension from QB results in the pick. Scrunk and catches the cross to the lack of smoke. It's easy pickings for 2 to close out the round. And finally, a round picked up for Sangal.
Beautiful stuff here. Let's see if they can get some traction going in this one here. We've got some good signs early out of Sugar and Dustin Poya on the other side of things. So quite the MMA representation here today. In the flames, around the fire, svyat trying to find a safe haven, and he's up on the logs. Hasn't been spotted by Scrunk there. The smoke will conceal him, and Nade's going back either way. Definitely saw him on the jump, and svyat had a chance. Scrunk gets the better of him, comes on forward, gets into the fight, and has some more to find, but Poya through the corner of the smoke will get one back. A 4-on-4 established with plenty of time left on the clock.
And ASG like playing with plenty of time. They've definitely been a team that even when you're in these downward positions, you can see in the last round they were still able to find their way into a winnable spot. Even if that smoke had landed, you never really know where they're going to be at in terms of finishing. So you can't count ASG here out when they slow it down. They seem to be quite a proficient team in the mid-rounds, at least at this level. Smoke out in front of Library prevents the peak from long as well. And now they can walk their way through the arches and through and towards CT spawn. They can split this B site, and that's going to put pressure onto the AWP that's currently positioned inside of the B site of Sensei. He has to worry about 2 positions.
Yeah,
and I think
this is hard.
It's just been calm to him that they could come through CT. Oh, lovely shot from Raijin. Sensei out of the round, and was hoping for a bit more resistance out of Sensei, but he ends up
saving already, aren't they?
just gets his legs cut off, and a save call has to be made.
So I'm on the major.ib.im website, /22RMR_Antwerp, if you want to check that one out and see how some of these matchups are going to go. I'm just trying to do a little bit of a predictor here to see how today's games will affect tomorrow's. So we did already have an upset. If you missed that one, it was Anonymo taking down Entropic, putting them in that 1-2 bucket. Heat went down to Ents, which isn't an upset. We had Sinners over Spirit, and we had G2 picking up the win against Bad News Eagles. Now that we're into the best of 3s, if we live in a world where players beat Astralis and NIP beat Copenhagen Flames, Who do you want to pick as the team winning this series? I know you said Sangal before, but would you like to
ASG
change your
right
mind?
now.
Okay.
ASG.
Let's go with ASG, and then Sprout versus Endpoint. Sprout, unfortunately, have their coach standing in as well, so maybe we give that one over towards Endpoint, which might be incorrect, but it doesn't matter. It's for argument's sake. So if the favorites win, players NIP, ASG, Endpoint in the remaining games today. Tomorrow's matches will be a 2-1 game of Astralis versus G2, a 2-1 game of Anonymo versus Sinners, which is crazy. That would mean Anonymo or Sinners will be at the major. A 2-1 game of Copenhagen Flames versus Ents. A 1-2 game of Bad News Eagles versus ASG. A 1-2 game of Spirit versus Endpoint. And a 1-2 game of Entropic versus Heat. Now that can change, and we'll talk about that more because I'm sure we'll have plenty of other save scenarios coming our way. Fortifying middle. Corey boosted on up, playing towards this close flower pop position. It's a very committed angle being played here, but they are fortifying this fight under the porch. It's a 3-man setup. It's a very strong way to deal with any A attacks coming on through, and Raijin and Sugar are both creeping through the boiler now. Flashed and out. Look at this from Raijin. Beautiful stuff right there. 2 dead immediately, and Sensei under pressure with the AWP.
Oh, tries to get away with the second. Couldn't quite land it, and now they move forward. Chugux, his position is all about delivering. He needs to get at least one here. If he does, he puts his team in a position where they might be able to compete, but realistically, he needs more than one. Right now, Raijin just waiting on his teammate, buying some time to get the balcony played forward, but Chugux, he's had enough. Tries to double up, just couldn't quite get his crosshair in the right position, and Skrunk into the 1v3. He's going back through Speedway, not very fast through Speedway, and that is going to allow ASG to get the bomb plant, and Skrunk is now in a position where you start to consider, can you even do this?
Yeah, it should be a save, mate.
You've got so much utility here, man.
Should be a save. Should be a save. It should be a save.
Save, please.
But it won't be a save.
Save, please.
Maybe he's just looking. Maybe he's seeing what he can find.
Maybe he's finding a book in the library, Chad. He's returning an overdue book.
When was the last time you went to a library, Dinko? Before COVID?
Either way, yeah. Before COVID is an understatement,
yeah.
I probably still have a book I haven't delivered back to the library since primary school, so apologies for that.
You're a thief.
Just forgetful.
Wow. A forgetful thief.
Yeah, forgetful thief.
What a combo that is. No, so I'm having a look here and seeing what else is available. If Copenhagen Flames beat NIP, it'll be Astralis versus G2. It'll be Anonymo versus Ents. It'll be NIP versus Sinners. So there's a change up in some of those matches. If Astralis beat Players, it'll be Players versus G2, Flames versus Anonymo, and Ents versus Sinners. So if there's an upset in either of those matches right there, it will mean that Anonymo versus and Sinners will have a harder matchup.
Either way, G2 kind of get messed up, right? They're in a rough spot no matter what.
But this is kind of, unfortunately, the way the cookie is crumbled, right? You lose your opening game to Anonymo. You're going to have to deal with how this buckhole system kind of plays out. But if you guys at home want to play around with that, I encourage you to head over to major.ieb.im. You can find all that goody stuff right there. A nice little resource that's been created for us to keep track of the Swiss system. And this scoreline right now is already out of control, 8-1. Fantastic work. I think ASG is showing why they opted to start on the T side of this very map. This map was Sangal's pick. ASG wanted to start on the T side, and we have Ancient next, where ASG want to take the battlefield. They didn't have a great showing in one of their opening games against Astralis, but it is Astralis.
Looking reformed here in Bucharest in a moment. Really impressed with their opening showings. Banana utility being tossed out, preemptive. Why is the silencer off?
Why not? It's
well,
we used to call this, right?
It's just worse.
Well, look, back in the day, right, we used to call this the anti-aircraft gun. Because in Source, if any of you ever played Source, when you took the silencer off the M4, it sounded so miserable. So I actually like this. I like it. It's got some lovely little iBuyPower stickers on it. Let's see how it goes. I'm all for this. It's scarier. You hear it coming. It's like, oh, lordy.
Yes.
Get excited about it, you know?
All right. It looks kind of weird, Chad. I'm uncomfortable with it.
It's a little bit shorter. His barrel isn't going to stick out as far. Have you ever considered that?
I don't even...
Have you ever considered that?
No.
And now you have.
Well, you're right. You've changed the meta now, Chad. The amount of times you get caught with your barrel going around the corner.
See, now you're getting it.
Here we go. Sounds more like an AK. It's more frightening. Here it comes. You wonder what gun it is because you've never heard the noise before. But the unsilenced M4 begins to knock on the door of the defensive side of Sangal on this B site. Mollies have gone in, spam is going down, and they've called it off as they go back over towards A. Sensei's still here with the AWP. They still have QB over here as well, but Sensei is the player that needs to get it done. He needs to set up the first kill, and with 18 seconds left, he spotted out the play forward. One-way setup for QB, gets traded out very quickly in reply, and Sensei now making his rotation back to the side. Hasn't managed anything, he's gone down, and ASG have now got the round, no problems. The M4 didn't even get any fights.
Yeah, but you're overlooking one key detail. When they executed B, he spammed through the smoke. He wouldn't have been able to make as much noise if he had the silencer on.
So he scared them with the noise.
And they over-rotated.
That's good. That's the mentality trick right there.
Yeah, you gotta be able to put this all together.
I casted with Vendetta a few times in my career, and he would always call the M4A1S the Colt.
The Colt, yes.
And yeah. That's
why we still, like, for example, like with the Krieg, I don't even know what its actual name is, but we call it the Krieg.
The right? SG531 something or other.
Yeah, so but it's called the Krieg is much easier to say, right? And then you also have the FAMAS, which we used to call the Clarion.
The Clarion.
Clarion, yeah. For the
Why
FAMAS.
don't we keep these?
Well, we can. Like the problem is if we use the term Colt, I don't think enough people would know what we were talking about.
We'd have some sort of cult going on.
Yeah.
Everybody starts thinking we're meeting in dungeons in black robes with candles.
Yeah, well, they're only doing that on the weekends, right? So making sure nobody can see that little action going on for the Caster Curse.
Okay, so the Krieg was called the Krieg 552, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So that makes sense. That's why it's called the Krieg, and it sounds cooler.
Yeah, well, the P250, I think it's a bit of a different weapon, but the P250 used to be called the Compact.
The Compact?
Yeah.
All right.
That was in the 1.6 days. If there's any old dogs out there like me, hello?
Hello, hello. Oh, they probably watched that show back in the day, too. QB. He's to remove Sugar. You didn't even have mollies back in your day.
No, Molotovs, no. They were initially banned when they came in because people thought they were too overpowered. They had to have some, they had a slowing capability to them.
Yeah.
Had to be adjusted quite significantly.
You also had to buy ammo. So
yeah, that's true. Not in Source, though.
Not in Source.
In Source, they did this one thing called dynamic weapon. What are you seeing there, waterfalls? Okay, well, takes a shot. It was in the right direction. Doesn't land anything here. Is it? Long Smoke will land over towards A during all of this. Retake utility ringing on out over the top of Banana. Boost up and over as Waterfalls might get away with one here unless they flash forward. If they do want to peek, yeah, there you go, the flash. So being a little bit more diligent this time for the clear. Scrunk will get the top Banana control, looking tidy. But if they want to flush him out from this very corner, might find himself in a bit of a hot spot. They will clear this. You would expect a player to take back the territory. It just comes down to if svyat can put his bullets in the right place. And oh no, svyat can't get the kill, but the trades are there. Poya, on the silenced M4, has gotten a kill.
Congratulations, Poya. That is something.
He's both rotating.
Oh, he caught them. He caught them in position, but couldn't bring them down. Now Poya, he has got the the unsilenced M4 as he runs into the site.
Look at it go!
He's got another one. He's defining a new meta. This is the start of the rest of Counter-Strike right here. Poya at the back of the site gets taken out by QB and waterfall. Oh, he's from the QB 5 days himself. He's taken out one. Down into the 1v1. Low HP available here on QB.
No kid,
Waterfalls goes on the wrap around the backside. He's sticking it now in the smoke. P250 pulled. It's a compact finish. It's 10 rounds.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. ASG looking fantastic in this matchup. Looking bloody fantastic. 10-1, really good stuff. Enjoying the basic defaults that are coming on through. And it started off with QB's aggressive maneuver. It was a nice little play to get them an opening in. There's Poya onto the opener, and there's the second from him. An essential kill to make. And the low HP, the damage done to QB comes back to bite him in the ass. Almost literally there as the bullet spanks him for the round. And running out of rounds now are Sangal. It is, remember, their map choice. They have started on this CT side by virtue of ASG giving it to them. So take it. You own this map, we'll start on the T side. We'll show you what we got. And we got 10 rounds already. You do have to start to question how G2 yesterday were up struggle street without a paddle. But we're still a 16-10 scoreline at the end of the day. No dramas. And Sensei's found another opening here. Raijin's gone down the flash forward. This is looking better now. The Wombo combo of Scrunk and Tugux over towards B has found them a two-man extension.
Well, that's good. It feels like Sangal in a position now to try and close out the round.
Maybe even the half.
Yeah, maybe 5 on the board. could be picked up
They
here.
can work with 5.
They can definitely work with 5 and make a meal out of this.
What rhymes with Corey? Allegory?
Story. Dory from Finding Nemo.
Can you speak whale?
Wah. That's a whale sound.
What type of whale?
Sperm.
Okay.
Blue.
Big blue whale.
You ever see those fish are from your country, Chad? The dory, the Nemo.
Nemo's a clownfish.
Yeah. Of course, would have to come from Australia.
Look at the time on this as well. Down to the 30-second mark, jumping into pit to their death. Corey will take that upgrade every day of the week. Now it's svyat and waterfaLLZ to get this one through. There's 20 seconds left. They have to force forward his money to buy into the next, but they want to find a kill or two and keep their cash low, and it's not going to happen. Corey denies them at the door, and waterfaLLZ has to save. Sangal get their second.
Well, Corey puts an end to their story, and of course that rhymes with Dory, as now we end the round at 11. Or rather, 2. 10 to 2. Sangal with their second. waterfaLLZ saves the AWP, so much money just in his bank account alone. And a little bit of conversation here for Sangal, trying to get back into this one.
Would you like a bit of a history lesson about some of the players on the team Sangal?
Yes.
All right, we'll start with Scrunk. His first name is Robin. He's 26 years of age. Now he's been playing since all the way back in 2014 within CSGO rosters under a team called MyKPV. Played in Euronics, Division, a team called Expert, Alternate Attacks, and Koana was one of his more recent rosters before joining Sangal.
Okay.
And Scrunk also has the same capitalization with the S and the final letter for him, which is K, as what I used to do back when I was, before I became professional in Counter-Strike.
What'd you call yourself?
Well, it's still Sponge, but it was like a capital S and a capital J. Now it's just capital, right? Because I don't like that. I don't like it being capitalized like that. Would you like to learn a little bit about Tugux, the coach of the team?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well, let's get in there with Tugux. We'll get to the player profile for him. So obviously, as we've all mentioned time and time again, he is the coach of this roster. He was, for a period of time, over there at Space Soldiers and ex-Dark Passage. Now, Dark Passage, for all of you old heads out there, might be familiar that Dark Passage used to be one of the Turkish teams that would compete in the 1.6 days in the ESWCs and the WCGs. Yeah.
Oh, that's quite a long time ago. So he's been
Isn't it
around
though?
for a while.
Yeah, he's 30 years of age. He's well, I guess he was born in the early 90s.
A veteran.
Another one.
I've read about the 90s.
The 90s fashion is back.
It is. It's back in full force. We have got now a kill on the board, and it's Sangal that's picked it up. So potentially, yes, they could make a meal out of this game. They could bring it back to a competitive half. If they find 5, you can work with that. If you pick up the pistol in the second half, you convert that. Who knows where we might be in just a moment. You can see Sangal at the start of this. They're kind of talking and having a little discussion, maybe a little bit more focused in on this, because this is an opportunity for them to go a bit deeper and stay alive in the competition. And I feel like they're probably fancy their chances against a team like ASG compared to anybody else in this competition. So if you can't be getting blown out of the water by this side.
Precisely, right? And it did take them a while to warm into things yesterday. But watch them lock this one down, Dinko.
Look at the setup they've got here. Boost. Oh, actually, with the utility of severed off, the team play, and they're blind. They're going into their own smoked blind here, the T side.
Handle.
And eventually they'll come through. It is one for Scrunk. Poria has come in, but gets caught by Corey. And now waterfaLLZ's turn. Oh! That's a nice headshot.
Needs another one of those, doesn't he? Another player close here, low HP. The AWP shot rings on through, and Tugux is down. It's a 2-on-2. The bomb yet to be planted. Needs to get down now, and Sensei has been locked out by that smoke alongside a QB. The utility for this retake smoke, 2 flashes and a HE. The HE perfectly placed on waterfaLLZ's noggin. Could be a kill. As they tuck on in, Sugar and waterfaLLZ get ready to defend.
Sugary waterfaLLZ. We'll see if it is the 2 players of Sangal that fall as they make their way back through ruins. Flash delivered and set up in the sky. waterfaLLZ plays some Nubox, but now he will be needed. His teammate got 1, so puts waterfaLLZ in a winnable position, but a missed shot. QB aware to bait out the shot. He's got an HG, and waterfaLLZ is low, but the time it's taking him. waterfaLLZ is just dropped it out, and he's got the no-scope, and he's got an 11th round.
Nice round there from waterfaLLZ. Very good stuff from him. Essential shots in that round. I was just talking about how good the setup was. It looked perfect. 3 players on the side, the boost, the up and over, but they get denied right there. Really good stuff for ASG to grab another round and put themselves up to 11. What a fantastic T-half this has been. And Scrunk, he worked very hard to take down svyat there early. He's back in for a second over towards, but this one here, what a shot from waterfaLLZ, and the follow-up essential onto Tugux. Sugar there continues to ward them off, and this little clutch, you're right, the U2 was in, but drawing that in the open was always going to be risque.
Oh, PK from Sensei. Oh, wow. Obliterated right at the beginning of the round. And now an aggressive maneuver from Sangal as they try and move their way through the apartments to gain something back into this round, but Sugar is waiting for it. His teammates are now joining him back. If he finds one, that's going to be massive, but Sugar gets both. That's round done.
Oh, dearie me. Didn't kick off and didn't end the way they wanted this to, did it? It's so hard when you pick this map and you think the opposite team picking the T side, it already just throws you for a bit of a loop, right? They're going to walk on out, picked on off. waterfaLLZ continuing this impact, and 12 kills now for him. I'm just having a little bit of a look over at that mainstream as well, guys. If you're not keeping up, if you're over here with us, well, thank you for joining us. And here's a little bit of an update for the players versus Australis game. It was an 8-7 first half on the T side. 7 rounds to the good for Australis, and that's a very good T-haul. So the scoreline over there now is currently 11-10 in favor of Australis. It'd be a fantastic win for them on their map pick going into Dust 2 next. Got some big fragging coming out of the entire team over there. It's a team effort for Australis today. The top end is Glaive on 15 and the low end is Zipex on 11. So I would advise everybody to check that one out. It's a big game.
A massive game for Legends spot at the major. For this one on our screens right now, it's elimination. And waterfaLLZ played with Boomage back in the day,
didn't he? Yeah, that was when QB5 had that really good run. That's like in the E-League days. Yes. I know everybody has fond memories of the E-League days.
Boston. Wow, it was a while ago. Raijin, good double kill again. He's got some crazy spray control, Raijin, doesn't he?
I am liking what I'm seeing from Raijin and Sugar for sure. Like Poya as well, he's had some moments, and I like the fact that he gets a little bit crazy with it with the silenced M4. I thought that was fun to watch. Nice shot back here from Tugux. Now, yesterday he almost clutched out a 1v3 versus G2. Let's see if he's got it in him now. Spotted out, shot through, has identified where one of the two players is, and well, they know exactly where he resides. The final round, he has to go for this one. 39 points of health and some Chatty B play-by-play about to come on into your ears. It'll be 4 in total for Tugux here as he's now playing behind the smoke. The pit position will have to deal with. The nade coming on through, goes on past, and oh, he's going to chop and change the avenue of assault right here, doubting himself at every turn, and no defuse kit in the mix, but he has the molly, he has the smoke. He needs a way in right now, Tugux. A third round, Sangal. They would love it. Bomb now. Starting to tick faster and faster as Tugux slinks on in. He's going to get spotted by Poya and goes on down. It's a 13-2 half. And just a little bit of a grin on the face right there. Look at that lovely locks of hair. A little bit Jame-inspired with that stylish do.
You ever wanted to grow your hair out, Chad? Because I have. But the problem is you get it to a point where it's like awkward and it just looks really bad. Yeah. And I can never commit beyond that.
Yeah, look, I had a bowl cut as a kid.
Oh, damn. I think I've seen
bowl cuts. You showed me a
photo of that before.
Yeah, bowl cuts used to be in back in my day. That's the 90s.
All my uncles had bowl cuts, so you were...
There you go. Am I old enough to be your uncle? I must be pretty close, actually.
I think you are. You would be... Yeah, you absolutely could, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I wanted dreadlocks, but my mum said no.
Dreadlocks would have been cool. You could have had the full-on Perth surfer look going on.
That's what I was going for. But then somebody told me a story about someone who had spiders lay eggs in their dreadlocks, and that turned me off.
Only in Australia do spiders live in your hair. Great, the breeding grounds. It's a bit gross, isn't it? That's why I'll never have a beard, man. Well, first of all, I can't grow one.
You can't yet.
Testosterone doesn't flow through me, apparently. But also, it's kind of dirty, isn't it? I read the books by the Twits, the Roald Dahl books. Anyway, svyat holding towards CT. They've actually got a little bit of ground here, Sangal, but they're pinned now. They were kind of getting sandwiched.
They've swapped territory on the map, haven't they? We'll take your spawn. You guys can have the rest. As the linchpin of all of this could be QB. He's over towards Boiler Room right now. Oh, they're the thorn between the sides. Spotted here, the barrel, and waterfaLLZ couldn't have had an easier kill. Corey not expecting the reaggress, and waterfaLLZ dancing with death here. Can backpedal and give the number advantage another moment to live.
We now go under 1 minute. Sangal yet to make significant ground. They do need to take out svyat if they want to pass to the B side because they have no one in banana. Even then, when they take that first player down that is positioned towards the B side of things, they will still have a second player behind him. So Lots to do here, and Chugux has got one pick. It is waterfalLLZ who has hit the deck. So we're right back into the 4v4. 35 seconds. Now they walk back to A, feeling this is the more comfortable side. They can split from two avenues. The apartments is a point of contact, and Poria is starting to consider that. Scrunk ready to hop on out straight away. Poria with the knockout blow.
Crispy.
We know he's got some of that knockout punch and power, and he's done that very well. A round picked up as ASG clean it up. 14-2, and 2 away now from taking map 1.
A couple little pocket rockets on this ASG team. Sugar's now up to 19 kills, 14 for waterfalLLZ, 14 for Poria. You've got 11 there for Raijin, who was doing a good job on some of those entries, and we know svyat's the in-game leader of this whole little project going on here, but you're seeing some good moments. Chugux with a nice shot into waterfalLLZ there. But taking care of business, and look, I understand what they were hoping to get away with that pistol. Get in towards spawn and the rotation comes to you, but they were more than happy to sit back. You can't plant in CT spawn, boys, so right now, stomaching a 14-2 scoreline on their map choice, are just going to go for an eco, and, well, it gets worse and worse, adding insult to injury. Raijin takes down Chugux, and I want to point it out for maybe some of our newer viewers tuning in who haven't been able to catch all the information. Sangal were unable to compete with their entire roster. Soulfly apparently had some issues with visas and was not able to come over here to contend. So that means that this team is unfortunately here with their coach standing on in. And we never expect a team to be able to produce too much when that's the case. And that, once again, it's no disrespect to Chugux. It's just you have a entire team who practice together. The coach is there to offer that support, to be a part of that strategical mastermind, not to put bullets in the head. So it's a very difficult task for Sangal here. It's hard to put too much shine on it. We hope that you're just enjoying the show that ASG are putting on.
It's been good counter-strike out of ASG.
Yeah, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've been, the T side was pretty well thought out. Honestly, Sangal give G2 away more of the battle than they've been able to give ASG.
Very true. Scoreline doesn't lie.
So there we go. Chugux, I watched a few of that back because I was intrigued as to how that was happening. Chugux was like entering and nearly won a couple of clutches against G2, so had a good game over that.
Yeah, why the hell not? As QB, he's going to be last man standing. He has got one back, but it's the only damage done to Sugar, who now finds himself on 22 fragaroonies. And time now the biggest issue. Poya from Pit. Going to pummel. And we are into round number 18. Excuse me, 19. Counting gets more difficult the older you get.
Counting's always been difficult.
Well, this is the last hope, everybody, for Sangal. So maybe if you're one of their fans, channel your energy now. I want you to put your hands into the sky, reach them up, and remember Goku powering up the Spirit Bomb to defeat Frieza in the first season.
You're watching too much anime, Chad. Or is there a such thing as too much anime?
I don't know.
We have got 15-2 moment left here. Sangal looking to power up. Corey's done exactly that with a first kill in Banana. Raijin is gone. Scrunk tries to rattle in and chase after them as they get to the back of the site. The Poria now sits towards CT Smoke. He's going to block him off. Flash then sets him up with a swing on out. And he has taken a life back here. Good team play here for ASG. And this smoke towards the back of the side, it sets up a corridor to play with. So it gives you more avenue of approach. You can pull the distraction. And now this sets up the boost to be potent. Poria should be closing this one. Gets up, takes one, drops on down again. Sangal, one player will be out of commission when that plant comes in, and Sugar actually confirms actually not on the plant. And he is overcommitted, and so therefore sets up QB to get the pick back. Oh, looking to close it, but Sensei into the fight, down to 18. Might just have to save his team here up against waterfalLLZ. Has had a clutch already in a 1v1, but this time he's got a FAMAS.
Well, they say don't go chasing waterfalls, so Sensei is going to allow him to make the first move. waterfalLLZ to back on off, and is actually expecting the rotation around the world. Yeah, Bomber's planted, and now waterfalLLZ knows that it has to be that B bomb site. There's no way in the world he could have rotated that quickly, but 18 points of health, and Sensei's just sitting, waiting, seeing what comes his way.
Taking his time, Sensei. He needs to hit the headshot. waterfalLLZ, goes down. The headshot will be landed. We will go again. It is not done yet.
Start of the comeback here, isn't it? Just 12 more rounds consecutively required to take us to OT. Trust me, check HLTV.
It's LTV confirmed. We've even got Prof in there making his confirmations live.
Well, he has a stamp. He travels around with a stamp. He gives it the stamp of approval, lets everybody know. And ASG, I love this. They lose the round and they take a timeout immediately. They're up 15-3. There's the scores on the doors for that A stream. Astralis versus Players, 13-12. Close one. Jinx.
Now I can't
You can't
speak.
cast for the rest.
Go ahead, chat. You have it. All yours. I will see you later.
Well, at this point, I don't know how many punches in the army you're about to get. Actually, you're probably not allowed to do that in today's day and age.
No,
so
no,
I'll just say it
violence,
3 times.
violence.
Dinko, dinko, dinko. You're allowed to talk now. You're back in action.
God, being a kid was so annoying, wasn't it?
It was.
It was just horrible. You said, oh, God, the physical education changing rooms were the worst. Just get a little...
We didn't have those. We did our PE in the same clothes we just wore for the rest of the day. That's no G up. Quite legit.
In the baking sun.
Yeah. Well, we were already sweating. You know, what's the difference,
point?
mate?
Yeah, you spend every day sweating anyway.
Look at how reserved this is. I have to respect this from ASG. The fact that they lose that one round and then they just take an eco. They could have forced. Like, look at the residual cash, everybody. 3.3, 3.3, 4.4. Right? They could have gotten into an M4, a couple of SMGs. Like, they could have tried to close it here immediately. I respect the hell out of this. More than I respect Meccano gun.
That's not hard.
No, not at all.
Zero respect versus any respect.
Yeah, precisely, right? Setting the bar very low here.
Yes, there is no bar at that point, but svyat's going to try and get his way forward. I mean, there really shouldn't be anything here for ASG, and if there is, I will be very disappointed. Raijin's got one. USP has taken out
does have one.
He does now, but no upgrade. Hasn't been able to get the gun, and that should be enough now. Surely.
Can they see him in the fountain, guys? The water. Yep, there we go. Okay, he was in plain sight the entire time, just hanging out. His toes were getting a little bit warm.
I always want to jump in a fountain, Chad. I think they always look so cool, especially like a summer's day, a really cool water feature. I just want to jump in it.
Have you had a hepatitis C shot?
I don't know.
Have you had a tetanus shot?
I don't know.
Okay, well, get
Probably not a
those
good
and then
idea.
jump into whatever fountain you want.
I did watch a homeless guy shower in one time. It was pretty
Yeah, well,
cool.
he's out of choices, I think.
No,
Dinko.
but that was pretty cool. I was like, that's freedom right there.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't think he thinks it's very cool to have to shower in a fountain.
No. Definitely
And
not.
as a plumber, I would say don't go in a fountain.
Okay.
Avoid it. It's going to be dirty water. It's not filtered.
You throw your
it's
coin
in public. Yeah, there's probably a lot of like bird feces in there as well as like trash, because human beings are filthy animals as well. So I would say avoid it.
Okay.
To actually take care of large bodies of water, you do require a lot of chemicals. Also used to have a swimming pool in my house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just flexing left, right, and center here, Chad.
My
you've
dad
got a
afforded
trade,
a swimming pool.
You've got a trade skill. You've got a swimming pool. I had a paddling pool, and it was so cold in my country, we had to use the kettle to boil out some water, then heat the water up every now and then.
Just Irish things. That's a big shot from Scrunk.
Oh, that is. Scrunk just cracks open waterfalls, opens up a hole here in ASG, and maybe just a chance for Sangal to wrap up on this site. There's two players still over towards A right now. And that's could be enough here. Poria, on the barrel, shoulder peek around the corner. Oh, chance for a multi-kill, but does get taken out. QB now into the apartment. Sugar gone, and two players left for ASG. This one should come to a close.
Yeah, with how conservative they approached the last round, and especially that timeout, they will save again, right? Svyat and Raijin don't want to just give up these guns for naught. So just hold on to the goodies. Buy again in the next round. It's all good. You have so many to work with here. But every round that happens, the chance of overtime for the Sangal fans around the world get louder and louder as they begin to believe, hold up a second, there might be a chance for a little kill or two here from Svyat. If there's an overstep in the window position from QB here, might give up his barrel, might betray him as part of this save scenario. Never mind, never mind. He will have to, like, I think QB probably jumps out of the window here. Or does he want to go back over towards pit with the crew? Because he can survive, plenty of HP to do so. You're going to push on down, QB. You're going to lose your AK, mate. I know you have to rebuy in the next no matter what here, but...
Oh, he's fine.
Well, all good, all good. Doesn't go past that magic line drawn in the sand. You know, you don't have to give your guns over if you don't want, guys. Think about your stats too, right? We all like dying less. That was a great shot from Scrunk though to open up that round. So really good stuff from him.
People will still use the wired mouse, so just making their life more difficult right now.
Well, I think it's to do more with the shell, right? So once certain companies start making wired devices, I think you will see everybody make that play. I'm even seeing more players now going with wireless keyboards. I'm going to have to get one of those for myself. Yeah, I think the thing is, like, we all know the wireless brands, right? We won't mention them. I won't give out any free plugs to anybody here today. But there's a lot of wired mice that have a certain shell shape that you know, this is a thing. I use a really weird mouse, right? Like, I use a G305,
Which is ambidextrous, right?
Yeah, which is a small little baby wireless mouse. But the reason I use that is because for my entire career, dating back to when I would play for 1.6 as like a 14-year-old at a local LAN cafe, I was using a mouse that was a Logitech MX300, right? And this is the closest thing to that shell, right? This mouse is older than probably some of our viewers, for example, right? And this is the closest thing to it. And that's just it. Like, this is where we say it's personal preference. And there's obviously a chance for you to be able to recalibrate and find something a little bit better and spend a lot of time doing it. I'm not saying you can't, but that's the personal preference that I like. I like that mouse. It's how I grew up and how I learned Counter-Strike as a youngster. So another conservative round here for the ASG. We'll be just holding on to these 2 saved M4s, and they've upgraded a Deagle for Sugar Sean. Now, I'm curious if... Oh, they're trying to do the boost up onto the balcony position. Well played, well handled.
Done very well. Now, will they get a kill from it? Oh, Corey. He's considering it. Spots the shadow. You can see his gun. It's massive on the wall. And so he's going to get checked and cleared out. That's unfortunate. Doing shadow puppets on the wall. And, yeah, going to cost him his life.
Oh, it's going to be Poya left with the M4. And he's actually in a pretty good position for this one here, Dinka. Look at this. Still residing within the site. So if they want to continue forward in towards A, they still have to get past the saved rifle. Another resmoke over towards the long side. Now one trickling out in the skies is going to be landing deep towards library, but they're going to go up through the short choke point here, and this can still get out of control.
Miss shot from Sugar. Flash goes into his face. 34 seconds. Poya looking to create some chaos in the side, but taken out.
It's all right. Now we get back into the gun. So if Sangal pick this one up, then you can start to get a little bit worried that a comeback in double digits could come in if you are an ASG fan. If you're a Sangal fan, I'm sure you're loving every second of this one now as they're continuing to get closer and closer to a respectable scoreline in this. We can hear Davey and Jackie through the walls next door, and it sounds like it's an absolute barn burner over there. 15-13, the score now reads. Astralis have to get 2 more rounds consecutively just to get to OT in the first map of that progression match. So if you want to check that one out, twitch.tv/PGL, and go over towards YouTube. You can search PGL in the YouTube search browser, get yourself over towards the live stream, check out in 4K, use the pause functionality, rewind, do all that good stuff as well. Banana control is looking tidy now. Svyat will find Scrunk. Corey did take Raijin down on the top rope, and Svyat, he's not backing down without a fight here, continuing to pepper some bullets through. Needs to be quite careful about this extension. The rotation will come back around the world from Sugar here. You can see him flirting with that idea. He's actually just going to stay over towards CTH. So this is the thing. Svyat said, when your in-game leader says, it's fine, I've got it, you trust him, and you need to hope that he can hold the wolf at the door.
Well, smoke goes down to try and delay. Big gap there, actually, on the right side of it from Svyat's perspective. Oh, it's not actually too bad. I thought it was going to be worse than that, but just a little slither gap, and they're going to try and boost with it and use that gap to catch Svyat as he crosses the back of the site. It's so close. It's going to start fading away. It does confirm that he did come from dark because they've seen the trajectory of that flashbang. But now the rotation's coming back, so they're going to have some help here. It's Svyat goes into the open.
Save.
I think you have to. You're not going to compete here, are you?
Well, just with the way that they've approached these last couple of rounds, it would be very telling. The thing is, they will need to go for a killer blow at some point. So that was where the question really comes in, right? Is one of the players over there for ASG going to be able to make a move that's big enough to secure the game? Or will Svyat call a round that's a little bit more aggressive? It might even come down to the experience of waterfaLLZ here to say, hey, look, let me go take an aggressive fight with the AWP just to find us an opener. Because at the moment, Sangal are working their way into these rounds. And this is great going into the second map of play. We do have Ancient just around the corner. That will be the map choice of ASG.
Yes, it is a best of 3 between these two teams. Plenty more action in this matchup to come. And of course, it is for elimination. It's for survival here at the RMR and to keep yourself in contention potentially, well, for a major. It's going to be another round, though, for Sangal. In fact, it's 5 in a row now as they will set themselves on fire.
Well, no one should do that.
No.
Don't light yourself on fire, guys. We would not advise that over here.
Self-immolation.
Oh, is that the terminology?
Yes, it's a protest technique.
That's another bloody dinko fact.
Yeah. Quite popular in the 60s, actually.
We need like a jingle for it. Dinko facts. Dinko facts. You know what the biggest issue is? Soulfly is the highest rated player
That sucks.
for Sangal.
That is kind of sucky.
It goes Soulfly, Corey, Sensei, QB, and Scrunk. Like, that's the order of which. So, like, to not have Soulfly here, like, we think about it, we have the coach thing. But when it's your highest rated player, he's only 17 years of age as well. So, obviously a talent for the future here.
Yeah, hopefully he can make it to an event sometime, and it'd be great to see what they've got with their full roster. But we did get a little confirmation there on screen, guys. A stream has concluded map number 1. Players have closed that over Astralis, so a good opening for them taking that map 1. Now puts themselves a map away from taking a legend spot, and that will be on Dust 2, their map pick.
Yeah, and they've also opted to take it to Dust 2 as the second map of that series, so don't miss a minute. It's always exciting to see the likes of Config going toe-to-toe against anybody, really. Let's see if you can find some of that beast mode form alongside the Boulder of Blame F, the Berserker and the Boulder in the server today, up against well, the players who are a potent little project of their own. But yeah, Tugux, it's a little bit unfortunate here that the coach is having to stand in for the best player on the side of things for Sangal. But let's see how many more throws this map has. Skrunk is going to creep and crawl his way up mid, leading the pack here. waterfaLLZ with that AWP. There's no play being made, and there's 2 MP9s alongside of saved weaponry. Up and over the util flies and has to respect it. They can go quick over towards this long side. If they wrap on towards A, waterfaLLZ is going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place here.
Starting to charge up towards waterfaLLZ
over here.
Yeah, they're going to try and boost and get into the better angle. Corey taking a pick onto Porya. He's out of the round. waterfaLLZ. Oh, he had the kill. I thought he for sure was going to find that chance. Ends up on scoping and getting caught. Now Raijin, he's charging down, trying to get a pick out of this, but Chuka, oh, he's going to get caught. Shuker on the double. svyat is going to play alone in this one, and he hasn't really been the highest fragger, so it doesn't really look like this one's too possible.
Well, at least the loss bonus is built on up there now for the side of things for ASG, right? Maxed on now. It's been 5 consecutive rounds that they've lost, now 6 once we secure this one to get themselves up to a tally of 8. But as I mentioned, unless there's a showstopper maneuver coming in from ASG, I think that they've considered at this juncture, guys, if we just play default, we'll be able to close out the game. It's not happening. It's not happening at all. Sangal are actually working their way back into this matchup. Could you imagine, from the scoreline that we had 15-2, if we're able to run it all the way back and go to overtime? I think the problem is I can imagine it. Can you imagine it?
Yes. It's in my mind a little bit.
Like, I can picture it. I can see you in 7 rounds time going, and Sangal, they've done it from 15-2 down to 15-15. We're going to overtime. I can actually see that.
I think you should do that, Chad. I think you've actually mastered it, and I think we should get some. Yeah, I mean, you put it in the rehearsal.
Okay.
So I think I'll give that moment to you. I think, Chad.
All right. We'll see if we can bring it home. All right, let me get a little bit more play-by-play action underway here. Round 24. Buys are in for both teams.
Do some football play-by-play. So you go.
Well, I could just set Skrunk, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you just don't say anything.
waterfaLLZ. QB now.
Spam.
Through now. They have the easiest job in the world, don't they?
Yeah, but then when the goal gets scored, that's when they really turn it up.
Only the Spanish commentators, the English football commentators just say the same thing, really. And it's just like, they say it.
Goal!
Yeah. Oh, bangs it into the back of the net.
Oh, waterfaLLZ. We're talking about aggressive maneuver. This could be the one. They took a fight. They took a risk. And waterfaLLZ out of the play right now. It is going to be over towards Raijin, over towards B. The front smoke site is going to dribble on in, deny the vision towards the coffin position as the rotation coming quick and through the speedway of svyat needs to get here quick and fast. Now, this smoke wall, you don't see this too often in the current meta of Counter-Strike, and maybe that's why Raijin is going to take his life into the hands of Corey, who hits a bit of a banger. svyat will get one back, and, well, they're into B. No problems at all.
Yeah, they're into the site. Sangal now looking at 9. The retake attempts for ASG have been non-existent, really, so...
Yeah, they haven't given it a crack yet.
Save call, again. 9 rounds now for Sangal. Looking good.
These are some of the best Inferno T sides I think we've ever seen.
Yeah, just like shutting it out. You know what cringe means? You know what the definition of cringe is?
What's the definition of cringe?
Bend one's head and body in fear or apprehension or in a servile manner.
Bends,
bend,
like the bends.
Bend one's head.
To bend one's head, okay.
And body in fear or apprehension or in a servile manner. He cringed away from the blow.
Okay, so I feel it's being used incorrectly then.
Yeah, it is.
But what's the modern definition? Because words change. I know that they shouldn't, but they do. Is there a modern definition of cringe?
I think we adapt to it. I think cringe is just when someone says something that makes you feel like tingly.
Yeah, it's funny how we always, but it's always, I think we've had the word throughout many generations of individuals, but it's always just something different, but it means the same thing.
What I think it is when someone does something that you perceive as, you wouldn't have the confidence to do that, or like you have some sort of self-limiting belief that puts you in a position where you wouldn't be able to do that. And so when someone's doing it, it makes you feel feared, right?
Sure.
And so therefore you cringe away from it.
But I think there's a part of it as well that people don't like when they say cringe. Like oh, that's cringe, so they're saying that they don't like it.
No, it is true, they don't like it.
Yeah.
But that's because...
But why don't they like it? Okay, that's what we're trying to establish here. We might need Maniac on if we're going to delve into the brains of
But you know what?
individuals.
Anybody who says cringe, it's cringe.
Sheesh.
Cringe, bro. Cringe. Flash now goes over the half wall. 9 rounds for Sangal. 3 players started towards B here for ASG, and they're going to send another one back over towards A. It might not get here in time for svyat. It looks like it's going to be quite quick here for Sangal.
Yeah, well, right now, I think we've got to start giving some respect to this T side because they're bringing it back, and Sugar ready to deploy that smoke in towards Pit to give him a one-way to work around. It's svyat who's got the first fight in his face. There's a smoke to divide the Scrunk and svyat head-to-head, and he's going to run out of time soon, so that might force them up the lane, in towards short, in towards this potent crossfire. 2 players over towards the Pit balcony positions, ready and raring to take this on. Sensei's AWP trained. Poya playing in the mini-pit. Sugar has used that smoke, and oh, he's not going to have another one to drop right here, so things are about to get a little bit funky. There's a Molotov for his position. Time now starting to trundle on down. Long smoke's being deployed again, and svyat's going to tuck himself into the side. They have enough players to defend this here.
This could be it for ASG, the closer, the opportunity to end it here on Inferno. After an incredibly strong T side and a weak start to the second half, this could be their chance to finally put an end to it. svyat, Sugar shutting it down. It looks like it's about done here for Sangal. It's only Sensei left, and he is out of there. 16-9 victory for ASG here on map 1. 1 map away of staying alive here in Bucharest.
Yeah, probably happy just to get it done at the end there. They had save after save. They were taking the conservative approach that I was praising time and time again, but getting into this one way too slow was the Sangal boys. Once again, the caveat, we'll make sure that we make that one well noted that we can...